What's up, everybody? It's Matt Faircloth here. Hope you guys are having a splendiferous day. Going to be doing a little presentation for you guys, and I just wanted to express my gratitude first before I get into that, and just remind you guys of a few things, and say hello to everyone watching. Hello, how are you? So my name is Matt. My company is the DeRosa Group. For those of you guys watching, I am live to you right now on our Facebook free community called DeRosa Insiders. If y'all are not a member of that, stop what you're doing. Um, Go to facebook.com and look up DeRosa. DeRosa. That name right there, DeRosa Insiders. It's a free Facebook community. Let me get some shout outs from those of y'all that are watching me on Facebook right now. Facebook on my DeRosa Insiders community. It's a free community. You guys can come join us, and we talk real estate shop out there. I go live there, and we post some pictures, and Justin does some live shots from some of our properties. I've posted deals there before. We've done some collab with people looking for deals on that site as well too. I'm also live on our YouTube channel. Really, really grateful for our 35,000 plus YouTube subscribers. Thank you, guys. I cannot thank you enough. And I pinch myself that I've got that many people that love what we talk about on YouTube every day. So if you guys are not a member of our YouTube community, check us out at youtube.com/, just look for DeRosa Group, DEROSA, DeRosa Group on YouTube. And guys, we're live on LinkedIn. So if you guys are not followers on us on LinkedIn, you should check that out too. Y'all know how LinkedIn is. YouTube or LinkedIn's a little more businessy and highbrow and that kind of thing. So we can polish up. We can do the LinkedIn thing. Delanda, hello. I had an awesome conversation with Delanda on this live session last week. Thank you, Delanda. Give me a quick update on how things are going. Did not have anybody ever reached out to you, but if you guys want to reach out to Delanda and talk Baltimore shop, Delanda was kind enough to share her phone number and contact information on the last live session that we did. So whatever feed you're watching right now, that was live on all three of those. Delanda and I talked some really good shop about Baltimore condos. I cannot believe the deal she's doing right now in Baltimore on a condo deal. It is going to be a slam dunk out of the ballpark home run that she's got going on right now. So make sure you guys watch that video from last week, because Delanda's got some really cool stuff going in Baltimore, and she is our newly anointed Baltimore expert. So and we've got some swag coming at Delanda. Jordan, as always, is one step ahead of me. Jordan Debiku, my Jervis to the Iron Man that I am here. Actually, I'm Captain America, but if you guys, I love Captain America, but I love Iron Man too. Love all Marvel stuff. The voices in my head that help me direct and tell me where we're going are Jordan and Debiku watching our feeds. If you guys can post the links for folks to get free swag, because now you guys can go to DeRosaGroup.com/swag. Delanda got her goodies. If you guys want goodies, we're going to be doing if you guys want to hang out for a little bit, I'm going to be doing a live session for folks that like now. If you guys want to get a free package of DeRosa swag, I'm going to in a moment here invite you guys to join me live. Before then, we're going to be doing a special presentation about what DeRosa is doing and what you guys could be doing to engage in the new economy we're facing. A lot of interesting stuff's coming up, man. Free a recession potentially, rising interest rates, inflation. Crazy. Well, what should a real estate investor do to navigate the new waters that we're facing? Well, we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to do a brief PowerPoint presentation for you guys, talking you guys through that, and then I'm going to take Q&A. And if anybody wants to join me live, you guys can. I'm going to post the link out right here for those of you guys that want to join me live. I'll post it. There it is. So if anybody wants to join me live, click that. You have to wait in the green room until I'm done this presentation. But if anybody wants to join me live, you're more than welcome to pop that link right there. Jordan and Debiku, could y'all move that link as well over to Facebook? Look at you, already ahead of me, as always. I don't even need to tell you, just doing it because you read my mind. Jordan's always reading my brain. He's always in my head. So pump that to LinkedIn too. So, Delanda, let's get to your question in a little bit. I'm gonna jump and do a little PowerPoint before I forget to do it here. So, we're gonna talk about the economy. So there it is, guys. Today's presentation is brought to you by DeRosa Insiders. It's an awesome free community you guys want to check out. And it's also brought to you as a gratitude event that I just want to share with you guys is how grateful we are for you guys being DeRosa fans. And it's just a free thank you. So check this out, and we'll do some Q&A and some more opportunities to earn some free swag in a minute here. So Matt Weilheimer, what's up, man? Matt Weilheimer is the best broker ever created in New Jersey. So if you guys want to buy or sell in Pennsylvania, hit up Matt Weilheimer. There he is there on LinkedIn. Matt, if you can hear me and you want to pop your contact info out there for people to reach out to you regarding buying or selling rental property or investment properties in Pennsylvania or New Jersey, that's your guy. That's your guy. Look no further, guys. There he is. Thank you, Matt, for all your support. So today's conversation looks like this, guys. So we're going to talk about, that's a good question too, Matt. I'm going to hop into that in a second. But today I'm going to talk briefly about what DeRosa is doing in today's changing economy on how we're navigating the bus. So real quick, guys, and I know we got a little gobbledygook here with the jumble, but it's okay. It'll come through. DeRosa is dedicated to transforming lives through real estate. And what that means is that we don't just get out there and try and make as much money as we can. We try and make a difference while we make money. And it's okay to participate in a capitalist environment, but also take the money you make and make money doing good, and take that money to continue to do more good and to advance your brand that way, right? So what DeRosa is all about is transforming lives through real estate. And that's something we love so much. We went and put a trademark on that term, transforming lives through real estate. So that's because that's just what we stand for. It's what we're all about. Here's a bit of our team here. That's myself with Hervé and Justin and a few of our team members here. We've actually got some new hires coming out of the pipeline that I'll see one of our live sessions I can introduce and chat with one of our new team members here with you guys to come and meet, and we can put them out here on the social live feeds, which would be fun. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is changes in the economy. And unless you guys been living in a snow cave and you don't read the news at all, you're aware that the economy is changing. Things are changing in the winds that drive real estate forward are changing. Interest rates are rising. Inflation is a real thing. And a lot of these things have changed real estate, and some for the better, some for the worse. We're going to discuss what we're doing, what DeRosa Group's doing in this changing economy. Until recently, guys, you could just simply do a deal. You could buy real estate and not do anything to the property, just, full drums like this, and it would be worth, 15% more in 6 months. And I think that's been fun. And then that's been great. And congrats, high five to everybody that's been able to make lots of money for themselves by just folding their arms and waiting for the real estate market to go up. But guess what, guys? That's not going to be the case anymore. According to Matt's crystal ball, Matt Faircloth's crystal ball here, I don't believe that appreciation is going to be the case anymore. But appreciation's made a lot of people look super smart. Low interest rates as well have been very, very helpful, and it's allowed like marginal deals to get done, because it doesn't, if you're borrowing money for next to zero, then any deal kind of sort of makes sense because your debt service is very, very low, right? Okay. Jordan, can you guys Jordan and Nabiku, post the link ASAP to join the live DeRosa, the DeRosa Facebook community, please. Put it on LinkedIn, and also make sure that the link to join me live is on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Okay. All right. So this is just a chart of what's going on. By the way, for those of you guys like that are old like me, and remember, when the market went nuts in the 80s and 90s. I was a kid when this was going on, but I remember my dad talking about it. But look at the inflation, what we've enjoyed in inflation as a country since the 90s. It's just gone down and down and down. I mean, a gallon of milk's cost about $2-3 for inflation has not been a factor. Let's just say inflation has not been a factor. But wages have. And so what that's created is an environment where people are used to things costing a certain thing for a very, very long time. And they're used to earning more, but their expenses, a basket full of groceries to feed a family has cost around the same for the past. Gas is one anomaly, but gas doesn't really, gasoline's not a good indicator to inflation or not, because gasoline kind of, there's a lot of other factors that drive the cost of a gallon of gasoline, let's say. So gas being $4.50 a gallon is not, that's not inflation by itself. There's a lot of other factors that drive gasoline. So let's not look at that. Let's look at just the cost of the cost of goods, cost that it takes to raise a family has been about the same. But wages, on the other hand, guys, have gone up. That's wages since 2000 and 2002, and that's continually gone up and up and up and up and up. I remember, I'll date myself and say that when I first got my first job in the 90s, I was bagging groceries making $4.25 an hour, right? Minimum wage hasn't gone up as much as maybe as it should have or whatever, but it's still uh, it's still a good bit up from there. And the average American makes a lot more than $4.25 an hour, or even $7 or $8 an hour. So this is the average wage of all Americans. But inflation is now, just look at the last couple months, is now really starting to blow out. So I think that we're going to see, yes, Americans are earning more, but the cost of keeping our lights on is becoming more as well. So those are real factors. And it affects multifamily. Guys, it affects multifamily quite a bit. And the reason why it does is because multifamily housing affects middle America, right? A lot of middle America, a huge percentage of middle America. If you count like if you widen up the spectrum a bit, more than 50% of middle America lives in multifamily housing, right? So multifamily housing, what DeRosa Group invests in, and what a lot of you guys that are followers of us invest in, are affected by this. Your tenants are going to see a cost of increase on their cost of goods. Their cost of living is going to increase, not just the rent, but everything, the cost to live. Yes, gas, but also, a bag of lettuce at the local grocery store is going to go up too. But so are the wages, right? So bottom line, guys, if we don't change course, and I'm speaking of, now I'm talking to real estate investors, not our clients, not our tenants. I'm talking to us. If we don't change course as real estate investors, we're not going to get to do deals, because cash flows, you're not going to get to do deals that don't cash flow, and you probably shouldn't be doing deals that don't cash flow in today's market. The market drops and you can't sell that market, and you can't sell things anymore. Maybe things are going to get soft for a little bit. You got to be creative. And so I want to share some creativities that DeRosa Group is doing as a company that you guys may want to, take it or leave it, man. I have no attachment to whether you guys like our ideas or not. I'm just putting our stuff out there so I can share with you guys, so we can build stronger real estate communities together. DeRosa is taking on 9 actions. 9. Here they are. Stay tuned, guys. Here we go. 9 actions. Number 1, we're paying for talent. We have developed incentive programs that we do for our site staff that run our properties. I do not accept I quit anymore from site staff, because I know that just because somebody else is willing to pay them more. So guess what I do? I pay them more. Most of our maintenance techs that we're making somewhere between $18 to $22 an hour. The average salary our maintenance tech makes is somewhere in the high 20s to low 30s. We had one guy, we went from $22 to $29 an hour. Because he was getting solicited by other people that are trying to hire seasoned real estate professionals, seasoned maintenance technicians, seasoned property managers, all those things. So we are paying more because I do not want to go out and hire more and hire new people if I don't have to. I'd rather take someone who is seasoned and knows our DeRosa culture that we've created, that I can just pay more to. So we are paying more money. Our expenses have increased on payroll, and I am okay with that. Right. So that's number 1. Number 2, this maybe goes without saying, but debt, the cost of debt has gone up. SOFR has gone way up, which is what a lot of multifamily loans are based on. The 5-year treasury has gone up. All other multifamily loans are based on that. And just the cost of an interest rate to buy a home. If, just Joe homeowner goes to buy a house, his interest rate that he's going to borrow at has increased. Well, how does single family homes affect multifamily, Matt? I'll tell you. People are going to start choosing multifamily as a living option as opposed to buying a home more often. So rising interest rates does not only hurt multifamily, it helps too. Because what rising interest rates did, and for those of you guys that were around in investing, in 2007, 8, 9, 10, around there, multifamily housing actually became more in fashion for a place for people to live, because the cost of living went up on the home ownership side because interest rates changed. Now, as interest rates go up, more and more people are not going to be able to afford to buy a home anymore, right? So rising interest rates will drive more traffic to multifamily, and it'll also make multifamily, unfortunately, a little more something that we have to bear in mind when we borrow money. I'll give you a real life example. We did a refinance on a property in August of last year, exactly a year ago. Apartment complex out in Kentucky, borrowed at 3.1% from Fannie Mae, right? Now Fannie Mae's quoting us on the same size property, not that property, but a similar property. They're quoting us at 4.75%. So Fannie Mae, government agency, government-backed agency, has gone up 1.65% on their interest rates. That causes a higher consideration for what we have to pay for properties because there's something called the debt service coverage ratio. I just have to pay more for my debt, so I have to mind cash flow a little bit more to make sure I can service that debt. Additionally, properties that are bought on floating rate mortgages should have some sort of a means to cap that debt. That's called a rate cap. So we are either buying properties at fixed debt, go in, debt's fixed because it may continue to go up. A lot of folks believe the debt will continue to go up, or at least, it's probably not going to go down for a minute. So we're buying rate caps to stop our interest rates from going up any higher than they do. So those are two things DeRosa is doing: buying at fixed interest rates, or fixing our debt with a rate cap. So fixed interest rate or rate caps. Those are two things we're doing. Keep the questions coming, guys. If you guys want to pop in questions, if you guys want to join me live and talk live in a second here after I'm done this presentation, would love to answer your questions and to do a live chat with somebody if they want to come talk. We're also getting creative, guys. And this is probably my favorite one here because if you guys know me personally, I'm a super creative dude and I love getting creative on things. Large equity partners have been willing to get more creative. The private equity firms that I've talked to that invest in real estate through operators like us have been very hungry for deals. And in exchange for deals, they've been willing to get super, super creative, right? So that's interesting. That means equity is looking to get creative and looking to say, okay, well, but I'll give you a real life example again. The bigger financial institutions have said, I want to make 10%, 11% on my money, but I don't need to make all of it right now. So you can pay me half of that now. So 5% current across the table. And I just want to make 10 at some point in the future. So when you refinance a property or when cash flow goes up or whatever, you need to start paying me 10 and show me a business plan to when you're going to get me up to 10 in the future, but I'll take 5 now. That's interesting. That has not been the common thing up until recently for larger financial agencies. We are also talking to agencies like insurance companies, like small community banks. Maybe they require a personal guarantee, but I'm not as scared by that as other people are. Personal guarantee is just a nature of the business. It's at some point. So we're talking to debt outside of the federal agencies, which are heavily driven by the market. And they become maybe overdone, the agencies like Fannie and Freddie. So we're looking at debt sources away from those guys. That's how creative we're getting. And we're also getting creative with sellers. We've talked to multiple sellers about seller financing, about assuming the debt that they have, because if they bought a property 3 years ago on an agency loan at a 3.5 interest rate, guess what? I want that loan. I want to buy that property and assume the debt that they have. I want to pick it up and roll it over to me because you got a better interest rate than I do. I can't get that rate anymore. That is now attractive to me. So these are some of the things that we're doing in getting creative. Obviously, I know there's another seller we're talking to right now about them staying in the deal. How about that? We're buying the property we're considering buying the property from them, and then we're actually to buy the LLC that they own that owns the property. So we would buy the LLC, and they would stay a member of the LLC with us becoming the active member. They're going to junior JV position, junior position, and we would be the senior, and we would assume the debt, and they would take a big payout, and they would take a reduction in their equity in the property. So you're going to have to get, if you find, especially if a seller's in distress, or if they really want to get out, or if they're aging out, big population that's going to be wanting to sell a lot of properties these days is those that are aging out of multifamily ownership, just baby boomers and those kinds of things. So we're getting as creative as we can get to make deals work. Great question, Facebook, on the master lease. I'll get to that in a second. So we're fixing cost. We've introduced general contractors to give us flat rate bids on turns on all of our properties, and I attribute that to just DeRosa stays super focused on certain markets. We're only in the Piedmont Triad of North Carolina, Lexington, Kentucky, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We're looking in new markets, but those are the markets that we are super focused in. That now it allows us to share staff. It allows us to leverage property management relationships, getting PM fees a little bit down because we're buying in specific markets. Now, those of you guys that are watching me right now and say, hey, that's all well and good for you, DeRosa Group, because you guys are seasoned operators and you guys have a lot of properties in those markets. How would a rising investor take advantage and do these fixed cost things? I'll tell you. So, what the way that you can do this too is, let's say my bestie over here, Matt Weilheimer, is an owner of, I'll make it up, 200 units in Central Jersey. He's actually a broker. If you guys want to buy 200 units in Central Jersey, call that guy. So 200 units in Central Jersey. What Matt could do is he could go out and find other operators and go make nicey nice, go make friends with these people. They're not your enemy, they could be your friends, and go form a buyer's community. And Matt then says, okay, I've got my 200 units or 50 units or 10 units, doesn't matter. Build a ownership pool of at least 500 units. That's where things get interesting. Take that ownership pool of 500 units and go to contractors, property managers, vendors, right? Not Home Depot. Get away from buying your appliances at Home Depot. Buy your appliances from larger outfits like Chadwell and HD Supply. Those are the big outfits that sell a lot of appliances, a lot of vanities, whatever, and go negotiate a buyer's agreement to say, hey, I'm Matt, and me and these other owners, me and these other 10 owners have 500 units collective, and we want to buy all of our contracting work and all of our appliances from you, Chadwell, or from you, general contractor, but you got to give us bulk rate pricing, and we can maybe guarantee you a certain amount of work. Interesting conversations will happen if you go and roll in with that much. If you roll in that deep with that many units that need work or that many units that need management, that's how you guys do it. So you don't have to be the 1,000-unit owner, because we have 1,100 units in Kentucky. We can have those conversations ourselves. You don't have to be that big to have those conversations. Go and assemble the team. Be the one that negotiates the deal. Maybe you make a little bit for assembling the conversation too. That's up to you. So, okay. Lots of amazing questions coming in here, guys. Stay tuned. I'll get to all of them. Okay. Cash flow is king. The cash flow is king. Appreciation is passe, guys. If you're doing a deal that doesn't cash flow on the first day that you own the property, you are gambling in today's market, right? I can tell you that I invested in 2007. And in 2007, I had properties that were worth this one day, and the market fell apart, and they were worth half of that the next day. But guess what? I didn't lose a nickel because I just kept owning them. And cash flow will get you through a soft economy. So if you're buying a property today and cash flow is there, cash flow will get you through. Cash flow is going to get you through a recession. It's going to get you through things that, if things go really soft and you can't sell for a while, well, guess what? Hey, God bless, I can just hold it, and I'll just let cash flow keep paying my mortgage and keep paying my expenses. Yes, you might see a dip in occupancy. Yes, you might see a dip, and that's why you want to have cash flow with some padding, right? You want to do sensitivity analyses to determine how low the occupancy could get on a property before you're out of the black and into the red. And I can tell you, if occupancy drops into the like below 85% and you're not in the black anymore, that's not a good deal, because you should budget for a little bit of a dip in the economy, a little bit of a dip in occupancy, but not occupancy going to 50%. It's not going to happen, right? The occupancy may drop to like 90 or 85 on a good asset, but it's not going to go to 50%. Show me where that's ever happened in multifamily real estate before. Yes, tenants might be able to pay their rent, but not everybody can't pay their rent. Not even during COVID did everybody not pay their rent. Most of our tenants paid their rent during COVID because they got help, or because they kept working or figuring it out, because that's what people do, right? So quit worrying about chicken little skies falling, right? If a deal cash flows and it cash flows well, a dipping economy will maybe they'll make things soft where you can't sell the property anytime soon, but cash flow will get you through that storm. Okay. All right. Okay. Creative financing, fixed agency debt. I already talked about this a little bit. Commercial banks, alternative financing. I touched on this already. Am I just my getting creative one? So I'm going to skip that one. Conservative underwriting. We've gotten more conservative. And the worst thing you can do, and this is the new normal thing as well, but when you guys underwrite a deal, the worst thing you can do is assume that what happened tomorrow is going to happen tomorrow. What happened yesterday is going to happen tomorrow. I'll give you an example. Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where we own, um, saw a 15% rent bump, 15% rental increases in 2021. Right now, I could sit here and be like, "Hey, look how awesome DeRosa Group is. We're in that market." The biggest mistake I could make, guys, is assume that 2021 and 20 is going to continue, and the 2022 rent bumps are going to look like 15%, and 2023 rent bumps are going to be at 15%. I can tell you, I'm not going to name any names, but I've seen plenty of syndicators out there that have deals that look amazing. And the only reason they look amazing is because those syndicators are assuming that rent increases are going to continue. They might, and they're going to make us all, and they'll help all real estate investors. But if you assume that they will, then you're making an ass out of you and me. That's what assume is. ASS, you and me. You're making an ass out of you and me if you assume. Okay. Another assumption people make in non-conservative underwriting is that cap rates are going to stay the same. Cap rates are super low right now, but are they going to be this low 5 years from now? I don't know. And so if you don't know, you got to put some conservatisms in there. Okay. Um, the new normal, guys, is that there are other new normals. Midterm rentals, short-term rentals, renting for the day or renting to people that are nomad. The new normal is a nomad economy. Thanks to COVID, a lot of people can live and work on the road. And so if you have a multifamily asset that is in a semi-desirable area and you furnish it, you could rent it out to a traveling nurse or a traveling executive or a traveling sales rep that's going to be in your market for 30 days or 45 days and doesn't want to go stay in an extended stay motel, wants to stay in a community. Maybe they want to bring their family with them or whatever. They can do that in your multifamily apartment building if you set it up to accomplish serving the new normal, right? So we also strive to make median rents. We don't strive to push to the top of the market, and I don't underwrite a deal to say, okay, well, the top of the market is $1,000 for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. So I'm going to underwrite mine renting at $1,050, to push the top of the market. If the top of the market's $1,000, I'm underwriting to 950. I'm underwriting below the top of the market because if a recession hits, I'm still okay. And maybe the market surprises me and goes to 1050. Great. Hey, that's pop the champagne. You can't count on that. And so we just look to achieve high quality tenants at median rents. I can't say this enough, guys. If I'm blue in the face already by saying this, but the new game is the long game, right? And our DeRosa's mindset has always been the long game. But if you guys really, really want to succeed, don't plan on getting and buying a multifamily property and selling it for double what you paid for it a year from now, right? You might do that, but don't bank on that. Bank on buying a property today, making a 10% return for your investors for the next 5 years and selling it for a good number more than what you paid for it, but maybe not catching lightning in a bottle and making 30% a year. Okay. Maybe it's not going to happen. The long game is where it's at, guys. And if you budget and you set up your business to play the long game, no recession is going to stop you. Because if you budget for cash flow and fixed debt, and put a little bit of padding in there and do a break-even analysis on your properties, you're going to get through any recessions. Don't be afraid of it, right? Still but buy good deals that cash flow today. All right. A lot of y'all are members of Insiders already, but I can't, again, I'm getting blue in the face. Facebook.com/groups/DeRosa Insider. I urge you to go to Facebook and search DeRosa Insiders. If you guys have questions for us and want to consider passive investing with us or want to learn from us or want to reach out, the email is investor@DeRosaGroup.com. You can take a picture of that handy dandy QR code right there, pull out your cell phone, those that are watching, or screen capture this thing and grab that QR code. That QR code will also, by the way, take you to a link that will talk about the free swag, which is, by the way, DeRosaGroup.com/swag. If you guys want free stuff, do you guys like free stuff? Like cool stuff like this DeRosa Group backpack? Isn't that cool? If you guys like cool stuff like that, cool coffee mugs, squishy balls. I got letter openers. I got battery chargers. We got all kinds of cool DeRosa stuff, including this T-shirt. Look at me. All kinds of cool DeRosa stuff. Go to DeRosaGroup.com/swag. We need a favor from you that will take you maybe 10 seconds to do, which is reviewing my book. Lovely book here. Review that. Write a quick review. Send us a screenshot. Right. Write us a review on my book or on Google or about our company on Google. The link is there too. Or write a review for our company on LinkedIn. The links to do all three of those things are at DeRosaGroup.com/swag. Just click the link that's at that website. It'll take you there. Take a screenshot, email it to us. Again, this action will take you maybe 30 seconds. Do those things and we'll send you something free. Okay. Now, lots of questions. I'm going to pop it in one more time here. Copy to clipboard. Okay. For those that want to join me, if anybody wants to pick my brain live and come on here live, if you guys join me live, you get free stuff. I'll send you free stuff if you guys want to join me live. And if you don't, that's okay. I'm going to answer your questions. All the way to the top. Let's see. Delanda, keep typing in your questions and I'll keep reading them out and answering them. And if you guys want to join me live, just click on that link and join in the BQ. Please push that link one more time over to Facebook and over to LinkedIn. Okay. Delanda, quick question. I'm looking to pick up another condo, but it has a 1-year rental restrictions. I'm looking to do a midterm rentals via traveling nurse. You got to roll the dice there. You're kind of going against the HOA's rules. They can fine you if they find out you're doing it. They can't take the condo back from you, but the HOAs can be a pain in the butt. They can fine you and their fines go, I've seen people sell properties and fines from an HOA can be very expensive. And they sit in front of your mortgage. And so if your mortgage finds out that you have a fine from your HOA, they can freak out. And so I would be careful breaking HOA or breaking condo association rules for doing short-term rentals or Airbnbs or whatever. So that's my 2 cents, Delanda. I know I still love your condo deal, and I think you're going to figure it out. Okay, my man Matt wants to know. I could show this. There it is. If a seller doesn't get exactly what they want in today's market, should they take something that's not far off and just get the deal done? Well, why are you teeing me up, Matt? You are. Matt and I just finished a deal right now. We just completed a deal on 10X Commercial, which I'll probably highlight how that goes once that deal closes. I'll do a little bit more of a highlight on that. But 10X Commercial has been a phenomenal resource for us. Quick plug for them. And Matt and I took a property through auction on 10X Commercial, and we didn't get the strike price that we wanted, but we got, what I believe, Matt, is we got as good as exposure to the market as we were going to get. And I think that we got what I believe to be a good market price. I could go put a property in the market and want $3 million for it, but if the market's only willing to give me $2.5 million and I did a really, really good marketing campaign, I have to accept that. So what? It's not what I wanted. I can't take my ball and go home. I got to move forward. And the number that we got was what I wanted. I was a profitable number for me, and it was in the black. Is great. I'm going to make money on the sale. So hey, yay us. Was the number I wanted, but I got to let that go. I think that you do, and I think that in today's economy, you should take what you can get, because I don't think that prices are going to go up any higher than they have. To really answer Matt's question, and I think that it's good to get what you can from today's market. I'm not saying it's going to crash, but I'm saying that it's more likely to go down a little bit, even by 5 to 10%, versus go up 5 to 10%. I think that's the higher probability of the market doing. If it's going to do something, it's likely going to go down a little bit versus go up. So if you get a good number that's profitable for you today, take it. Good question, Matt. You're welcome for covering this topic. Let's see. Thank you. Okay. Jordan, Richard on LinkedIn wants to get on our e-blast list. Could you please send Richard a LinkedIn message? That's to you, Jordan Fraser, please watching. Get Richard on our e-blast list. Just send him a LinkedIn message, please. By the way, quick plug. Matt Weilamer, Kislak Realty. There's his phone number. If I can help anyone as a resource, please don't hesitate to reach out. Matt Weilamer is the man for Jersey and PA real estate, investment real estate, right? He is the investment real estate dude. He's helped me out quite a bit. Matt and I have sold millions of real estate together and bought millions of real estate together. So hit Matt up, okay? JT, I'm in Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne, Indiana, has the best place for us for deals. He's averaging 2K per rent. That's incredible, JT. That's like 2% roll, man. I love it. JT, love the comment, man. Thank you. If you want to tell us more about Fort Wayne, if you're going to come on live and talk about Fort Wayne, click the link that we put there. That's awesome. Those are great numbers. Facebook, keep the seller in the deal. I love that if you can. Do I think that master leases will become more popular? That is an interesting question. We've tried a master lease. And let me explain real quick what we're talking about here with my Facebook friend. What a master lease is saying, okay, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, I see that you own a 50-unit apartment building. Your average rents are $45,000 a month on that building. Here's what I'm going to do. But 45 is your average rent today. But if a recession hits, or what you really need to get is, let's say, 37,000 to cover your expenses on the property and to put a few dollars in your pocket and to pay your mortgage and to cover all your operating overhead and everything like that. I give you two choices, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Here's what I'll do. I'll lease the building from you right now for 37,000 a month, and any upside I get, but I'm going to run a master lease for you for 37,000 a month. And then you're guaranteed to get that. You handle all your bills and expenses behind it. I'll handle some other things on top, and I get all the upside. And eventually I want to buy the building from you after I increase top line revenue. Okay. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is this. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, let's talk. How about I inherit all your expenses? I see you, Patrick, in the waiting room. I'll drop you in a second. And it says device is not connected. So you might want to work on your video or whatnot in there, Patrick. So while you work all that out, you tech out, I'll keep going so I can bring you in a second once I can see your smiling face in the green room. So let's say Mr. and Mrs. Seller says, well, what about expenses? What about maintenance? What about overhead on the property? What if I say, I'll take all that over? And for that 50-unit apartment building we're talking about, I will pay you a monthly nut that covers your mortgage on the property, that covers your real estate taxes and your insurance, and I'll take over everything else. And they say, well, that's interesting. My mortgage and my taxes and my insurance add up to $20,000 a month, right? And you say, okay, I'll pay you a check. I'll write you a lease contract for $20,000 a month, and I'll personally guarantee it. So if I don't pay, you can come after me personally. And I will write that check every month. And then all the expenses on the property come back on me. So maintenance, if there is property management fee, if there is anything, I have to pay all that, but I also get all the upside. So if I got a business plan in place, then I can work on raising rents. I can work on getting those top line rents that I said, if you guys are listening, that I said before, around 45,000. If I can get those rents up to 50,000 or 52,000 or whatever, by raising rents, by doing value add, by maybe investing in that apartment complex, I can make that property worth more. And if I'm smart, what I did, as I said, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm going to pay you 20,000 a month, and I'm going to lock in a purchase price. Let's just say for fun, it's 50 units. I'm going to buy it from you for $5 million. I'm going to lock in our purchase price at $5 million, and I'm going to pay you 20,000 a month to master lease the property. Now, what I do is then I go back. Now, this is like kind of a no money down deal. You're going to have to come up with the money at some point, but it's a way to raise value and maybe convince a bank to loan you on the new value versus on your 5,000 a month or your 5 million purchase price. So I hope you guys are catching this. I'm kind of on the fly. I'm coming up with these numbers, but I'm selling a building this way. I'm on the other end of that. I've got a guy right now that's writing me a check once a month for all my for my general, like my mortgage, my taxes, my insurance on a property, and he's going to buy it from me at some point in the future for a agreed upon number, what he and I agreed to. But he's hoping that he can increase revenue to the point where the building appraises for a lot more. It's a win-win. I get my number. I make plenty of money at the number he's going to pay me, and he can increase the performance of the building to where he makes a little bit more cash flow during the leasing period, and then when he closes, he maybe can achieve a higher financing number. So that's a master lease. Okay. Yes, it's a good idea. To answer your question, Crib Solution. Matt Weilheimer says my message is right on. Well, I appreciate you, Matt. Real estate said, my man Cedric. What about assuming the loan that for an asset that's 1% of the population of the market? It's assuming the loan. 1% of the population of a market sounds like nothing, but that's a lot. That's like saying that Trenton, New Jersey is a market that's around 80,000 people. That's saying I'm going to buy a property that it houses 800 people in Trenton, New Jersey. That's a lot, right? So 1% of the housing on a property sounds like a lot. Assuming the loan is an okay thing. Real estate said it depends on. Honestly, I need to know more detail on that deal. The floor is still open. Patrick is still trying to work out the tech on joining me live. So Cedric, if you want to join me live, click the link that should be out there. Okay. Let's see who. Okay, Joseph. Patrick, I'm going to drop you. I'm going to kick you out of the studio, Patrick, and hopefully you can. Okay, I'm kicking you out of the studio, Patrick, because then you can come back in because it seems like the link didn't work for you. Joseph, any tips for growing your social media presence? Yeah, man. First of all, I'm a big student of Gary Vaynerchuk. I love Gary Vaynerchuk, love VaynerMedia, love all Gary's products. So I would recommend becoming a student of Gary Vaynerchuk. And he talks, I mean, I'm just preaching from the Gary Bible now, right? But Gary talks a lot about consistency. So your post does not have to be perfect, right? Your post do not have to be super astute. They just have to be, on message that you want to talk about, and they need to be consistent. So the biggest way to build a social presence, Joseph, is to consistently post. You're watching me on YouTube here, so I don't know if you have a YouTube channel. If you do, post it right here, and I'll get you some people to follow you, right? Check Joseph out, guys. So post the link to your channel if you're still watching, Joseph. And just to anybody, at the end of the day, consistent posting is what you have to do. We post on YouTube every 2 weeks. Twice a week. And we post on a lot of our other social channels at a very consistent cadence. Consistency is key to social media, and staying on message. So not just saying whatever you feel like, developing a brand and a unique message that you're going to say. So kind of saying the same thing over and over again, but saying it in different, in different fashions is the way the way that you grow on social. Okay. Facebook, almost like a rental arbitrage. Good stuff. All right, guys, that's it. I don't know if I'm going to post the join me live one more time. If you guys don't have time to do it, I totally get it because you guys have asked a lot of great questions. So if nobody joins me live in the next minute or two, I'm going to jump. But if you guys want to join me live and just get some free stuff, then do that. If not, I'm out of here. Jordan and Daviku, please post one more time the link to the DeRosa Group swag website, derosagroup.com/swag, for those of y'all that want to join that. That want to check us out. That's it, guys. I think next week I might bring on some new DeRosa team members. We've got a new investor relations manager that's inside sales type of position. I want y'all to meet, and we've also got a new underwriter. The underwriter actually used to underwrite hotel deals, which could be interesting. Maybe I could interview him and we could just talk some hotel shop, talk about owning hotels here live on this channel. DeRosaGroup.com/swag. Check it out. Nabiku, make sure you get that on. Make sure you get that on YouTube as well. So just to take you literally 2 minutes to go through a quick task of reviewing DeRosa on one of 3 different social feeds, and then sending us the screenshot of such, and we will send you guys some free thank yous in the mail, such as free coffee mugs, free battery chargers, free backpack. So I gotta really like you to send it to get you a free backpack, but I'll do it. I'll do it. Don't say I won't. I'll do it. Matter of fact, if you guys do, I'll throw it out there. If you guys do all 3 things on the DeRosaGroup.com/swag, if you guys do all 3 of those, I'll send you a backpack. Right? Jordan's head is exploding right now. But do all 3 of those. Send us a screenshot to insiders at DeRosaGroup.com, which is there at the DeRosa Group swag site. That's what I got, guys. I am loving these live sessions. More and more people are watching. We are touching more and more people. We are inspiring more and more people here on these live sessions through our Facebook feed at Insiders. So go to DeRosaGroup.com/insiders if you guys want to, or not DeRosa, just go to Facebook Insiders, DeRosa Insiders on Facebook if you guys want to join us there. Join us on this LinkedIn feed. Likely be around noon Eastern every week. Look for the invite out. Look for the invite here. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I'm proud of me too. So, what a happy Friday, guys. Thank you all three of our social channels that are watching right now. Oh, cool. Yeah, said it'll be noon next week too. So join next week, man. I'm loving. I always love talking to you, man. So I love your vibe. Come join me next week, and we'll talk shop. Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a great, profitable week and a great weekend.